Pretty Woman. Days of Our Lives. Deidre Hall has the perfect next megastar in mind for Salem. There was a time when soap operas were considered one of the biggest launching pads in American entertainment. Over the decades, daytime dramas have welcomed actors who later became household names, while some of Hollywood's biggest stars have never hidden their affection for the genre. But every once in a while, the worlds of daytime television and Hollywood collide in a way that feels almost too perfect to ignore. Right now, that is exactly what seems to be happening with Days of Our Lives. The long-running Salem drama has suddenly found itself at the center of a surprising amount of pop culture attention. From celebrity fans talking about the show to famous faces making appearances, Days is enjoying a level of visibility that longtime viewers may have never expected to see in quite this way again. And if Marlena Evans' portrayer Deidre Hall gets her wish, the next major Hollywood name to walk through the doors of Salem could be none other than Julia Roberts. Yes, that Julia Roberts. The beloved star of Pretty Woman, Erin Brockovich, Notting Hill, and countless other Hollywood classics apparently has a connection to Days of Our Lives that Hall finds absolutely delightful. And after hearing Hall personally extend an invitation to Roberts, fans have every reason to wonder what it would actually look like if the Oscar-winning actress stepped into Salem. Salem has never been more popular. There is something undeniably fun happening around Days of Our Lives right now. For years, soap fans have known just how much cultural history exists inside Salem. Characters such as Marlena, John, EJ, Stefano, Hope, Bo, Victor, and the many generations of Salem families have become part of television history. But lately, the show has been receiving attention from outside the traditional soap audience. Ryan Gosling's well-known appreciation for Deidre Hall and Days has generated plenty of conversation, while John Oliver's appearance as Devlin St. John has given viewers another reason to tune in. Meanwhile, Hall herself has been appearing in other high-profile entertainment projects, bringing additional attention to the woman who has played Marlena for decades. Then there is the unexpected Salem love showing up elsewhere in popular culture, including Prime Video's Elle, the Legally Blonde prequel. Suddenly, Days of Our Lives is everywhere. That makes Hall's Julia Roberts' invitation feel perfectly timed. Because if Salem is going to embrace Hollywood, why not go all the way? Deidre Hall has a dream guest in mind. During a conversation with Pause Rewind, Hall revealed that Julia Roberts is a big fan of Days of Our Lives. Rather than simply acknowledging Roberts' admiration, Hall decided to make the invitation public. "Come on by, babe," was essentially Hall's message to the Hollywood superstar. It is an incredibly charming moment because Hall clearly wasn't treating the idea like some formal casting proposal. It sounded much more like one legendary performer extending an open invitation to another. And according to Hall, she has met Roberts several times at award shows. What makes the story even more entertaining is Hall's description of Roberts' reaction. Hall explained that Roberts was essentially starstruck when they met, but Hall was quick to make an important distinction. Roberts wasn't necessarily overwhelmed by Deidre Hall the individual. Instead, Hall suggested that Roberts was fascinated by what Hall represented. She wasn't just meeting Deidre Hall, she was meeting Marlena. For soap fans, that distinction is absolutely hilarious because Marlena Evans isn't simply another television character. She is one of the most recognizable figures in daytime history. So imagine Julia Roberts meeting Hall and realizing she is standing face to face with the actress who has been Salem's emotional center for decades. That is the kind of Hollywood meets daytime moment fans live for. Could Julia Roberts really come to Salem? Obviously, there is a huge difference between a friendly invitation and an official casting announcement. There is currently no guarantee that Roberts will appear on Days of Our Lives. Hall's comments should be viewed as an enthusiastic invitation rather than confirmation that negotiations are underway. Still, the idea isn't as impossible as it might sound. Soap operas have always had a special relationship with celebrity guest appearances. Some famous stars have appeared for a single episode, while others have taken on surprisingly substantial roles. And Days of Our Lives has already demonstrated that the show can attract enormous names. One of the most memorable examples came when the late Drake Hogestyn helped bring legendary actor Dick Van Dyke to Salem. Van Dyke appeared as John Black's long-lost father, allowing the show to create a storyline that was both emotionally meaningful and genuinely unexpected. That appearance proved something important. Sometimes, celebrity casting works best when the famous person isn't simply playing themselves. Give them a character. Give them a mystery. Give them a family connection. Then let Salem do what Salem does best. Julia Roberts would be a dream casting choice. If Roberts ever accepted Hall's invitation, the biggest question would be what kind of character she should play. There are almost endless possibilities. She could arrive as a mysterious newcomer with a connection to one of Salem's most powerful families. She could play a glamorous businesswoman who suddenly becomes involved with the DiMeras or Kiriakises. She could portray someone from Marlena's past. Or, perhaps most entertainingly, the writers could create a character who initially appears completely unrelated to anyone in Salem before revealing a shocking connection. That's the beauty of daytime storytelling. A character can walk into Salem one afternoon and completely change the balance of power. Julia Roberts also has the acting range to make such an appearance memorable. While audiences often associate her with romantic comedies and major Hollywood films, Roberts has demonstrated that she can handle drama, suspense, comedy, and emotionally complicated characters. Imagine her sitting across from Marlena in the Brady pub. Imagine her confronting EJ. Imagine her sharing scenes with Kristen. Or imagine the shock if she arrived with a secret that completely changed the history of one of Salem's most famous families. The possibilities practically write themselves. There is already a family connection to daytime. Interestingly, Roberts wouldn't even be the first member of her family to enter the world of daytime television. Her brother, Eric Roberts, had a stint on The Young and the Restless, where he played Vance. That makes the idea of Julia Roberts appearing on a soap just a little less far-fetched. There is already a family connection to the genre. And perhaps even more importantly, Hollywood stars have increasingly shown that appearing on a soap opera doesn't have to be viewed as a career step backward. For many actors, it can be an opportunity to have fun, embrace loyal fans, and become part of a television institution. For someone like Roberts, a short Salem appearance could be exactly that kind of experience. She wouldn't need to commit to a long-term daytime contract. She wouldn't need to become a full-time soap star. She could simply show up, shake things up, deliver some memorable scenes, and leave fans talking for years. And let's be honest, Salem has survived far stranger things. The Gosling question makes this even more fun, of course. Julia Roberts isn't the only Hollywood superstar connected to the current days of our lives conversation. Ryan Gosling has also been associated with the show's recent wave of celebrity attention, leaving fans wondering whether his admiration could eventually lead to an actual Salem appearance. That creates a fascinating possibility. What if Days becomes the place where Hollywood celebrities come to play? Soap fans have always been accustomed to recasts, surprise returns, secret twins, shocking deaths, mysterious relatives, and impossible resurrections. Now imagine adding Hollywood cameos to that list. One week, a beloved television legend could arrive. The next week, a major movie star could walk into the Brady pub. Suddenly, Salem wouldn't just be a fictional town. It would become Hollywood's favorite secret destination. Celebrity casting can be risky, but it can also be magical. Of course, stunt casting isn't always successful. Sometimes a celebrity appearance feels distracting. Sometimes viewers are reminded that they are watching an actor who doesn't normally belong in the soap world. And if the story is written around the celebrity rather than the characters, longtime fans can quickly become frustrated. But there is another side to celebrity casting. When it works, it can be wonderful. A famous guest can introduce new viewers to the show. They can generate social media conversations. They can bring press coverage that a regular episode might not receive. Most importantly, they can create memories. Dick Van Dyke's appearance is a perfect example. Rather than simply using his fame as a gimmick, Days of Our Lives incorporated him into the story in a way that gave fans something meaningful to watch. That should be the blueprint if Roberts ever says yes. Don't simply bring Julia Roberts to Salem because she is Julia Roberts. Bring her to Salem because she can make a character unforgettable. Deidre Hall might actually be the perfect person to make it happen. Perhaps the most amusing part of this entire story is that Hall may actually be one of the few people who could make Roberts seriously consider the invitation. Hall has played Marlena Evans for generations. She has become synonymous with the character and has earned the kind of industry respect that allows her to move comfortably between daytime television and Hollywood. She also clearly has a warm relationship with Roberts. So why shouldn't she ask? Maybe Roberts has been waiting for the right opportunity. Maybe she would love to play a Salem character for a few episodes. Maybe she could surprise fans with a completely unexpected performance. Or maybe the invitation simply remains a fun Hollywood story. Either way, Hall has already planted the seed. Now it's up to Julia Roberts. What would a Julia Roberts episode look like? The possibilities are almost endless. Picture this. A mysterious woman arrives in Salem. Nobody knows why she's there. Marlena recognizes her immediately. The two women exchange a knowing look. Then comes the bombshell. This mysterious newcomer has a connection to Salem that nobody saw coming. Suddenly, every major family is involved. EJ wants answers. Kristen wants leverage. The Kiriakises want to know whether their fortune is threatened. Marlena wants to understand why this woman has returned. And by the end of the episode, Salem has a brand new secret. That is exactly the kind of storyline that could make a celebrity appearance feel like a real Days of Our Lives event rather than a simple cameo. And if Roberts brought even a fraction of the charm and intensity that made her a Hollywood icon, fans would almost certainly embrace her. Salem is having a moment, and fans should enjoy it. Ultimately, the most exciting part of this story isn't whether Julia Roberts actually appears on Days of Our Lives. It's that people are talking about Salem again. The show has spent decades proving that daytime television can survive changing audiences, changing technology, shifting viewing habits, and an entertainment industry that constantly evolves. Yet the heart of Days remains the same: big personalities, big emotions, big secrets, and, every now and then, an absolutely enormous surprise. Right now, the show appears to be enjoying a particularly fun moment in the pop culture spotlight. From celebrity fans to special appearances and renewed attention for its legendary performers, Days of Our Lives has plenty of reasons to celebrate. And Deidre Hall's playful invitation to Julia Roberts only makes that moment more entertaining. Will Roberts actually walk through the doors of Salem? Nobody knows. But if she does, the show already has the perfect person waiting to welcome her: Marlena Evans. And honestly, if Deidre Hall can convince Julia Roberts to say, "Come on by," Salem might be in for one of its most glamorous visits ever. For now, fans can dream about the possibilities. Because in Salem, anything can happen. And sometimes, the most unexpected celebrity guest is exactly the person who makes the biggest story.